TikTok family. So those of you that are on my TikTok, welcome. My YouTube, welcome. My TikTok, if you're not following me on YouTube at Teacher Melanie, make sure you go ahead and you follow with me. Okay? Make sure you go ahead and follow me on YouTube as well. And so on this day, right? On this day, as I said, I wanted to make sure I come on before midnight, before the day's end for me. And I wanted to talk about, sometimes people ask, I want to get into, starting a home-based business and be able to have something where I can do online as part of my home-based business, getting into digital marketing, having a faceless channel or a faceless, whatever way. But I don't know what I want to do, what I like, what is of interest, and how can I identify what that is. So being a home-based business coach, one of the things is that I always ask, what are you passionate about? What are you passionate about? What is your experience? That's a question I want you to know. What is your experience? What are something that you know about, and what do you do naturally, right? That's where you want to be able to start. Take some time. First question is, what are you passionate about? List 3 things that you're passionate about. And then, what is your experience? What are those 3 things that you are experiencing, right? Maybe it's your job that or you've learned a particular skill or something. And what do you know about? What is something that people always come to you, and this is like they want to pick your brain, right? Or this is like, oh, you always seem to know. What is that thing that people come to you for? And then what is that thing you do naturally, where it's like everybody may look to you and it's just like, oh, how do you learn that? How you do that? And just like, I thought everybody knew how to do that, and it's like not necessarily so. And I really had to figure this out for myself, because oftentimes when people come and ask me questions about business and about money or whatever the case may be, and when they would ask me, and I'm just like, in my mind at first I was like, you don't know that? You don't know that? And when I realized is that it's not that they don't know, it's not something that they've searched about, it's not something that they looked into, right? They didn't know it was a thing. And so I really had to get to the point, hello my fabulous peeps, get to the point where, okay, just because you know it doesn't mean that everybody else did. It's not in their skills in their skill set, right? Or it's not something where they've looked into as well. So you're probably that person, a particular area where people always ask you, they get advice to you, and they get a direction from you, right? And so that's one of the areas that you can find out. Hello, fabulous, where you can find out what you do naturally, right? And so when you just take this time and write down those areas, right? The 3 things that you are passionate about. What is your experience? What do you know about, and what do you do naturally? This is really going to help you to get into the space of digital marketing, having an online business, particularly really helping you to get your home base business, right? Because now as you are coming on these different platforms and you're sharing your skill set, your insight, you don't have to feel like you're all over the place, right? So it's really going to help you to narrow down. And then once you are able to jot down your passions, okay, so let's get a little bit deeper, right? Your passion, those activities that you can lose time doing because you love them so much. What is that thing? What is that thing? What is that experience? Maybe what you worked on in the past, or what you're currently doing, what jobs you have that you rocked at. And I know for me, one of my skill sets was in business. I've had businesses before, home-based businesses before, and also education. And I always train adults in a particular in education and in business. And so for me, that was a big thing where I do enjoy training people. I love helping them to get to the next level. I love to see somebody who comes and they're just like never thought they can do something, and then I'm able to show them, right, that this is what you can do. This is your skill set. This is how you can show up. And then their eyes open and they're just like, I never thought I even had the ability to, much less the knowledge to even start, right? I never thought that wasn't, I never saw myself doing it. And when I'm able to bring that out of them, oh my gosh, it's a game changer. It's a that fuels my fire. That really does fuel my fire. And so when I help them to identify those experiences, those passion, then I ask them, what is it that's your knowledge, right? What are those topics you're always reading about, or courses you have taken, or maybe even the courses that you have not taken but you desire to take because you feel as though, I'm going to take this because I know I can be able to help so much more people as well. So your knowledge base, where there's something you learned, you self-taught, or is it something that you went to school for and you enjoy sharing that knowledge? And then the next thing I want you to think about your natural talents. What are your natural talents? What are those things that you do naturally? Are you a go-to person in organizing events? Are you good at decorating homes, or maybe you're good at crafting, or maybe you're good at graphics, right? Or maybe you're good at as I said, planning events. Maybe you're great at throwing amazing birthday parties, whatever it may be, or you're good at technology, whatever it may be. That's something you really, really want to jot down your skills, those ideas of what you are, because that's going to help you to really identify how you can help people get, what's the word? Get the help they need. And the other side now I want you to think about is, what is that thing? What is that thing that you've been able to get results from? What is that area in life that you've experienced something, and now you've had this experience and you went through this whole journey, and you've seen great results of the journey that you have gone through, right? That experience, whatever it might be. And now you have the ability to help some other people. For me, one of the journeys that I've gone through is foreclosure, bankruptcy, being sued. And now at the point where I don't have a mortgage, don't have student loan debt, all these things that plague a family. And as devastating as those things were, now it just fuels my passion, because one thing I understand is that the importance of getting a financial education, but also understand the importance of having a business, right? Particularly a home-based business, because at first I grew up with this. I grew up with my mom having a home-based business. I grew up seeing my father having a business. And it wasn't until I got out into the real world and understand why it was so important for them to have a business. Because they had because both of my parents had their 9 to 5 at one point, but then they realized that it was more beneficial for them to have a business, right? And so once I understood, and this is like everybody needs to have it, right? Especially when you're tired of your 9 to 5 and you're trying to figure out ways how to leave your dream funder, or maybe you enjoy your dream funder, but you're like, I want to do something else. I want to make another stream of income, but I don't want to get another job, right? I don't want to be tied down to anybody's schedule. And so this really allows you to hone in on your skill sets. So now you can truly take your skill sets and get paid for the skill sets that you have. My fabulous people, my YouTube family and my TikTok family. Now you can get paid. So now that you got to that point, so I want you to now think about, what are you skilled at? Now let's get to the real thing about your skill sets, right? What are these superpowers that you have, that you've experienced great results? And sometimes we overlook those things. That's why it's so important at the beginning that you take the time to identify those skills, right? As we talked about, that you do naturally. Maybe you're a numbers wizard, right? Or you can tell stories. So maybe you're good at writing. Or you have a knack for cooking, Ooh, cooking maybe different vegan meals or something that people would never even think about doing it. Or how about this? You know how to stop a fussy baby, a baby whisper. Hot diggity dog. Hot diggity dog. Oh my gosh. That's why if you have not done so already, make sure you go ahead and get my complimentary, right, guide on starting a home-based business. Get on my email list, because when you do, I'll send you so many things that you can help you to identify some home-based business that maybe you never thought about, as well with your skill sets. And there's so many opportunities. Don't negate things at all. Don't think that oh no, nobody's gonna be interested in that. Don't be surprised. Nothing is off limits within reason. Okay, let me say that. Okay, within reason, right? And so really holding on that. And so the other thing now is reflect and write about. Right, I want you to reflect and write about your tech skills, right? Anything, if it's sewing, if it's software programming, then I want you to write about your soft skills. What are soft skills? Like communicating, leading, or teaching. Your creative skills. You all have some type of creative. Maybe it's photography, writing, design, artists. And then your practical skills, such as cooking, gardening, and mechanical, right? These are things I want you to start reflecting on, and how you can take those things that you reflected on and be able to monetize on it, right? And that's where something that I'm able to help you identify the different ways that you can monetize, whether that's something you do a service base, or it is a product that you have. There is ways, let me say, there is ways that you can take that one niche that you have and have a multiple stream coming from that, and you're not feeling overwhelmed. There's a way. And I have an amazing method that I help you to utilize, to identify on very simple, easy to implement, and get you started sooner than later, so you can get out of your mind and into the marketplace. That is something that I truly enjoy doing, and just helping you to realize that you have everything that you need, and it's just a matter of taking what you have, right, and just packaging up in a way that is presented to a potential customer or client, right? And so now shifting your mind that to say that, you know what, you have these skill sets, these ideas and products, somebody is looking for you, right? Even if you may say, oh, there's so many people in this particular market, nobody's going to be looking for me. What's different? So that's where you start really honing in on your skills of how you can add a twist. But the other side to that, right, the other phenomenal side is that you're not competing with anybody. You're not competing with anybody, because what is for you is for you. Who is for you is for you. And there's your personality, your skill sets that people are looking for, right? And how you design things, and how you may say something, how you explain things, where now you're attracting your ideal client or customer. But that can't happen if you're closed. That can't happen if you're just keeping it to yourself, thinking that nobody will be interested. So now that self doubt starts to set in, self sabotage starts to set in, or fear of success. What about if people like it? Am I able to handle it, right? And so that's why you start with where you are. You start with where you are, and you go from there, one moment at a time. And that's where I help you to breaking it down into four simple things, right? Four simple things, but in order for you to get to that point, you do have to start with identifying and writing things down of where you are, your skill sets, your passion. So I just want to go over the four things that I talked about that I really want you to focus on is what your passions, your experiences, your knowledge, and your natural talents. Take the time to write those things down, and you're going to be so surprised as it's going to propel you that much faster to get into your home-based business, get into this digital online marketing, and be able to make a stream of income in your sleep, so you're able to design the life that you want. All right, my fabulous peeps. So, like I always say, remember to pray. Oh, before I even get to that, before I forget, make sure you go ahead and click on my link where you can find, where you can be able to be on my mailing list, right? So download my complimentary guide as it relates to home-based business. And you will also find some other goodies in there on my ebook that it says girl, and even if you're a boy too, okay, because you can give it to your girlfriend or whoever. Girl, get that coin, right? That 30-day for a 30-day blueprint to your banging home-based business, right? And with 30 days or less, that you can be a profitable. All right, but you have to start someplace. And then also I offer a guide on getting into this faceless digital marketplace, because this is a $1 billion-trillion industry. You can see how things are maneuvering as it relates to the digital age and online platform. And so if you are not online in some shape, form, or fashion, you are missing money, leaving money on the table, and we can't afford to do that, right? Because inflation is real. Inflation is real. Inflation is real. So now I can say, like I always say, remember to pray, plan, and believe, because God is still in the business of doing miracles. Make sure you follow me, right? Follow me on my YouTube, teachermelody.com. Connect with me. And what I want you to do, right? What I want you to do that, right? To make this engaging. I got bit by a I don't even know what. I mean, anyways. What I want you to do is comment home biz. Comment home biz. And if you have any questions as it relates to home-based business or the ability to work from anywhere or remote, make sure you reach out to me. Make sure you go ahead and you reach out to me, my fabulous peeps. All right. So with that being said, bye. Have a wonderful night, my fabulous peeps. Blessings on each and every one of you. Blessings.